Yeah, what's good, cryptocurrency fans out there? Welcome back to the Everything Altcoin channel. Today, we're going to be talking about Peaq again. It's been a minute since I talked about this, since I put out that first video, but you guys know how bullish I've been on Peaq from day one on this channel. Once I found out about Peaq, I was like, yeah, this is going to be a big infrastructure play that is going to be coming out for the Depin side. And Depin is still very early in terms of one of the big narratives. It is still building out, and I think Peaq can greatly capture everything that is going on in that whole narrative, right? So before we get into talking about all of that, I'd like to ask you guys, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're on the road to 20k subscribers, so if you guys want to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment what you guys think down below, and while you guys are down there, you guys can hit that link to join the Discord to continue the crypto conversation we're having daily. And you guys can ask me your questions on how to get into some upcoming projects, private sales, and the benefits of the Patreon. As you guys know, we have been getting into some bangers, and Peaq is one of those that we gotten into a while back, right? And we're highly bullish on Peaq. We did get refunded some for Peaq, but that's all right. We still very bullish on this thing right now, and this lets you know how big of some of the projects we actually get into with this group, and you guys do not want to miss out on that and step your crypto game up to the next level. Join that Patreon, join the Discord, and let's get right into it. So crypto rank hasn't updated everything on Peaq as of right now. You guys should already know everything about Peaq, but actually Max had dropped a whole thread on Peaq. What is Peaq, and basically explaining it to you. We're going to also cover that in this video, but right now Peaq is actually doing their launch. They are launching on CoinList. This is a big place for projects. Most successful projects do launch on CoinList, so this is very good to see. Of course, you guys can already see it's not available to US people, but I'm good. We got into the private sale, so we are very happy about that as of right now. It ends on May 16th, so it's going to end exactly this week that this video is coming out on. So maybe those if you got the opportunity to get into the private sale on CoinList, it'll be huge. You guys can go ahead onto their website right now and check everything out, right? We're going to talk about all of this, but you guys can see right now the Peaq token launch. You guys can see everything that is going on here, what the value is, the vesting schedule for it. This is not bad vesting, guys, right? This is not bad vesting for it. And of course, you guys get to see the min allocation is 100. Max, if you're well, is $50,000. So a lot of things is going on for Peaq. Go ahead and go check it out on freaking CoinList. But let's continue on here. So Max, like I said, Max is the co-founder of Peaq, and he put out this thread here, explain Peaq network to a 5-year-old, and he compares it to Legos, right? Peaq as the building blocks for the entire Depin ecosystem. You guys can go ahead and go read over all of this and get a quick little understanding of what Peaq is to the T from the co-founder himself. Now, I'm extremely bullish on Peaq for so many reasons, and you guys can actually see it from this graphic here, right? This graphic here shows so much of what Peaq is doing. Their ecosystem grew 20% in 30 days. This was pre-launch, 24 Depins. We're going to look at some of those plays. 400,000 devices. Of course, you guys can see it's a crazy big community, sorry, right? And the ecosystem growth is 20%. There's a lot of things going on in this Peaq ecosystem. Oh, as well, if you guys are holding Crest, you guys can actually get an airdrop of Peaq. If you guys don't know what Crest is essentially Peaq's testing ground. So if you guys don't know how the whole Polkadot ecosystem works, is you got Polkadot and you got Kusama, right? The projects like, let's say Peaq, let's say Astar, Moonbeam, all of them will be on Polkadot, but they also will have a test chain, a test network, or a sister chain that you guys want to call it on the Kusama side, and everything goes onto Kusama first, and then it goes to Polkadot ecosystem. So everything that is going to come for the Peaq ecosystem will be happening on Crest before it gets to Peaq on Polkadot, right? So you guys can see it's 42 cents right now. It is up 10%. This is probably during the move because people are now finding out if you're holding some Crest, you might get an airdrop, but that snapshot might have already been taken. I don't know. But what's also even crazier is once Crest came out and Peaq was also announced, people already had it in their head that if you bought Crest and you hold it, you will get an airdrop. But it took a while for that to happen. So those that had the conviction back last year around August, they bought it around 1 cent. It is sitting at 40 cents, guys. Right? it had a crazy move down to $1.29. 100x move, guys. 100x move in pretty much in a few, maybe 6 months or so, right? Because this was a big move from August to March, right? And then of course it came down, and now it's up 10% again. So Crest Crest made a lot of people a lot of money just for being able to pay attention to the market. And me, I actually was not a part of that run, unfortunately, because I really wasn't thinking about the airdrop at the time, but I was following Peaq very closely. But of course I missed out on this trade here. But those that got in this trade, congratulations, because this was a crazy move up to $1.29. And of course, you still holding above 40 something X right now, or above 35X or so. All right, so you're looking pretty good depending on where you bought this thing at. So Crest is those that people are going to be looking into. But once Peaq comes out, I think Crest will drop a little bit, and more focus is going to go to Peaq. This is not like last cycle where a lot more people went over to the sister chain, because the sister chain was where things was going. Because if you guys remember, Moon River was going crazy. That's because Moonbeam didn't come out for a while, and then once Moonbeam came out, it actually did good too. I think it kind of hindered the growth of Moon River then, but we'll have to see now that this new cycle is going to be very different. We'll see how the sister chain and the main chain will operate in terms of X's in this market now. So let's continue. Now, as I told you guys, they have a bunch of projects already on their ecosystem, right? You guys can see here, right? 25 pre-launch, Silencio, Charge, all of these Natex. I already followed some of the ones I do believe is going to be the best plays in this ecosystem. One being Panamo. I've been covered this a minute ago, because you know, charging, being able to tokenize your battery and all of that is huge. So I'm big on Panamo. I'm big on PowerPod here. I'm big on PowerPod. I'm big on Charge. I'm big on Natex, right? So these are some plays already in here that is pretty much looking good. You can scroll down here and just look into all of these, see when they're going to be coming out. If they're going to have a token attached to it, most likely they will have a token attached to it. You guys can start to prepare yourself to get into this as well. And what I do like about Peaq, it also targets RWAs. If you guys don't know, RWAs and Depin go hand in hand, especially where something like Panamo, they're actually doing RWAs and Depin, right? The real world asset will be the battery, and is doing the whole Depin side of connection and things like that, right? So things is getting very interesting. Now, as I said, Depin does not have a lot of crazy hype right now, but this sector also is one of my top bullish sectors. If you guys don't know, I've already told you guys AI, gaming, Depin are my three. AI, gaming, Depin, and RWA, sorry, not in that order, but that's the four that I've been looking at this entire cycle here. And Depin actually started to get a little bit of noise late up, like maybe a few months ago, but it's still very untapped here, and there's not too many competitors, especially for Peaq, right? One being Turnet, right? This thing is sitting at $175 million FDV as of right now. But the thing is, they also partnered with Peaq. As you guys can see, they partnered with Peaq, and they have a nice little partnership with there, right? They're doing their own thing there as well. And then one only true competitor to Peaq would be IoTex here, right? This thing is sitting at just under $500 million market cap. And this also does have a ecosystem as well. It's an infrastructure, but I do think Peaq is going to be much better than this. We could see Peaq around the $1 to $10 billion market cap, this cycle. It may be even higher than that, right? So things is going to get very interesting for Peaq. I'll tell you guys, I'm very bullish. I want to know what you guys think about Peaq though. Let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll check you guys later. Peace, YouTube.